Did you know that just by watching the videos on this channel, you are making the world a better place? That's right. Every video you watch helps bring high-speed internet connectivity to remote communities around the world that are in need. Every view, like, comment, and share counts towards making our goal of worldwide internet connectivity a reality. So please join us in our mission to connect the world by sharing our content and becoming a subscriber today, because together we can make the world a better place. You are not going to want to miss this. Today, we're diving deep into the realm of so-called safe investments, and I expose the silent killer of your returns. Let's jump in. Welcome back to my channel, Investing Made Simple. I'm Joe Macek, Portfolio Manager and Investment Advisor for IA Private Wealth, where you can find the most trusted information on building your net worth. If you're new here, thanks for checking me out, and feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we share new insights. Today, we're diving into a topic that likely plays a significant role in your financial choices: investing in securities labeled as safe. Now, you might have had some of these in your portfolio, but what many folks aren't aware of is the unseen risk associated with these investments. In this video, I'll shine a light on the surprising truth about what we commonly think of as safe investments and explore alternative options that might reshape your investment approach. When it comes to your investments, you are probably very similar to most investors out there. You want the highest rate of return possible on your hard-earned capital, but you want to do it with the least risk possible. This is because you've worked very hard for everything you have, and you could be worried about the ups and downs. Okay, let's face it, almost nobody worries about the ups. It's really just the downs of the stock market you're worried about. And the last thing you want to see is your life savings get crushed by a really bad market. So today we will look at these so-called safe investments, but I think you should know that I unveil a shocking truth that lurks beneath the veneer of these seemingly safe investments. But as always, before we get too deep into the video, if you have any questions surrounding this content and how it pertains to your investments on a personal level, it's best if you would reach out to me on a one-on-one basis. My contact details are now provided in the description below. I bring over 24 years of experience in investing and financial concepts, provide fully licensed and trusted investment guidance, and would love to hear from you. Okay, now back to our video. While investments labeled as safe generally shield investors from capital losses, a prevalent misconception is that these so-called secure options can also facilitate the growth of one's capital. Now let's take a closer look at investments that are often seen as safe, revealing instances where they can actually diminish the value of your savings instead of fostering growth. How do most people define safe? Well, there's a lot of debate surrounding the very concept of what constitutes a safe investment. But when it comes to your investments, people usually mean one where they won't lose any money they initially put in. In short, no loss of principal. So what types of securities are widely seen as safe? Well, for a very long time, guaranteed investment certificates, known as GICs, have been regarded as the very definition of security, because they are issued by financial institutions such as banks or credit unions and backed to a certain amount by organizations such as the Canadian Deposit Insurance Corporation, or CDIC. They give the illusion of being completely safe because GICs are fairly simple. You can put money into them and you get your principal and your interest payments returned to you, typically without any fluctuations to your principal. Other investments widely considered to be safe include Treasury Bills or T-bills. T-bills generally function as loans to the Canadian government, with investors receiving interest in return. The interest rate, or return earned by you, is the difference between the face value, the amount received at the end of the term, and the discounted price, the initial investment. As these bills are issued by the Canadian government, they are generally regarded as fairly secure investments. Also backed by governments are government bonds, and they're issued by federal, provincial, or municipal authorities. These present another widely seen area for relatively secure investments. These bonds typically have a fixed payment encompassing both the principal amount invested and a predetermined fixed rate of return. They are often considered low risk when compared compared to riskier counterparts like corporate bonds and company shares. However, despite the fact that GICs, T-bills, and government bonds may give the appearance as being safe, when you choose to invest in these types of securities, they actually help contribute to the gradual decline of your assets over the long run. In the investing world, there's a strong correlation between risk and reward. The lower the risk usually means lower returns, and higher risk can bring the chance of higher returns. So here lies the challenge with so-called safe investments. They can offer you a very false sense of security, fooling you into believing that the likelihood of losing money or a substantial portion of it is minimal or non-existent. But it does exist. And almost every year, like clockwork, inflation, the silent killer of your GIC and bond returns, is there, slowly destroying your purchasing power. You see, your money's purchasing power must grow at a rate equal to or exceeding inflation for it to retain its value over the long run. If your investments fall short of keeping pace with inflation, your hard-earned money silently diminishes and becomes weaker and weaker, buying less and less in the future. How much less? Well, let's take a look at the interest rates and inflation numbers from 2022 in Canada. The average inflation rate for the year was 6.8%. However, the returns from safe investments during the same period were notably lower. GICs had an average return of around 2%. The Canadian 3-month Treasury Bill offered a yield of 2.82%. Long-term real return bonds had a peak return of 1.75%, and the peak yield for long-term Government of Canada benchmark bonds was 3.68%. Depending on the specific so-called safe investments held, your savings in 2022 could have seen a real value loss of up to 4.8%. Not only did the returns from these so-called safe investments fail to keep pace with the rising cost of living, it actually led to a decrease in your purchasing power. And you can really see the decline if we look at this chart. Over the past 2 decades, especially when accounting for inflation and taxes, let's assume that the GICs were held in a non-registered account. Returns from GICs have either been minimal or negative, resulting in a decrease in the real value of your money. Clearly, relying solely on safe investments for the long term has been a terrible investment strategy for most stages in life. So what is a safe investment? If GICs aren't truly safe and the stock market isn't viewed as being safe, where do we invest? Well, these are excellent questions, and I believe I can provide some insight into how our investment team addresses these types of questions with our clients. When it comes to financial information, it's crucial to remember that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to investing. It's unwise to solely focus on the investment vehicle without considering what you're trying to achieve. My definition of safe in the area of investments depends on the time horizon and what the financial goal of the money is. Let's look at safety from a different angle and determine what you want to do with the money first, and then ask yourself if it's safe or not. Let's assume you are using money for a short-term need, a significant purchase, for example, a house or a car. Safety in this context could mean preserving the principal to ensure that the funds are available for when the purchase happens. Let's say that you're making this purchase in about 18 months. Well, putting this money into the market, hoping to achieve a higher rate of return in a short time frame like 18 months is generally not a great idea. The market can take a significant loss in 18 months, as much as 30, 40, or even over 50%, and it can stay down for an extended period of time. This is not exactly safe for what you want to achieve. For this particular goal, GICs would likely serve as a safer vehicle to help ensure that you have the amount of money that you needed in 18 months. So again, I think you would agree, for this type of goal, markets would not be considered safe and GICs would be. However, let's do something different. When considering what would be safe for the long term, the narrative completely changes. If your goal is saving for retirement, that is many years in the distant future, from a long-term perspective, I would think that safety means having a consistent income stream that minimizes the risk of you outliving your money. The real danger is running out of money when you retire and having to go back to work. This often requires a willingness to invest in potential potentially more volatile assets to generate returns that can surpass the silent killer of GIC returns, inflation, over time. So once more, and I do think that you would agree here again, for this type of goal, the markets would be considered a safer route than GICs would be. So what are the alternatives to these so-called safe investments? I mean, what can investors like yourself do to help preserve their capital while earning a return that tends to exceed inflation over taxes? Well, diversification continues to be a key strategy in any investment portfolio. It helps reduce the risk while ensuring the growth of savings, and it aims to maintain or even exceed your original purchasing power. Additionally, certain investment types, while not typically seen as inherently safe like those mentioned earlier, are designed to be less impacted by market downturns, providing an extra layer of resilience for you. Let's take a look at a few options. First, investment grade and high yield bonds, unlike government bonds, are issued by companies often offering more attractive rates of return. Investment grade bonds typically carry a rating of BBB- or higher, representing a lower risk among corporate bonds. On the other hand, high yield bonds with a rating below BBB- are riskier but generally come with higher returns. Second, preferred shares occupy a middle ground between bonds and common stock. Preferred shareholders typically receive more favorable returns compared to bondholders. Additionally, in the event of a company facing insolvency, preferred shareholders are prioritized over common stockholders in terms of payouts. Third, lower risk stocks or equities, particularly those from companies in more stable industry sectors that consistently provide sustainable dividends, can be an appealing option for risk-averse investors. Often referred to as dividend stocks, these investments have the potential to capture a significant portion of the overall stock market gains while helping mitigate exposure to losses. To give you a better sense of how they behave, let's take a look at the performance of dividend stocks by having a look at the S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats Index and compare it to the S&P 500. This index is made up of companies selected from the S&P 500 valued over $3 billion who have consistently increased dividends over the last 25 years. In 2022, when the S&P 500 experienced an overall loss of around 18%, the Dividend Aristocrats only declined by 9%, showcasing a substantial difference. Investing in this select group of companies can not only add some resilience to your portfolio, but can also offer a steady income stream through dividends. This can enhance the purchasing power of your money over time. Fourth, alternative investments are becoming more available to individual investors. While these investments were typically reserved for large institutions and accredited investors, assets such as private credit, which involves lending to privately owned companies, and private infrastructure can provide returns that are less tied to stock market fluctuations. By working with a portfolio manager, you can access private equity and private credit opportunities, with the portfolio manager acting as the accredited investor on your behalf. To sum it all up, traditional safe options may shield against immediate losses, but they usually do not keep up with the rising cost of living. So determine what your goal is with a particular sum of money first, and then determine what the safer route would be. Build a portfolio to manage risks while aiming for growth so that you can be the silent killer of inflation. Did you know that there are many studies suggesting that clients with an investment advisor or portfolio manager tend to be less anxious, happier, and more confident, often resulting in a net worth up to 3 times higher than those who manage their investments alone? Do you want to know how to choose a good financial advisor? Well, click here to learn the amazing differences between advisors. We'll see you soon.